Thai-Myanmar border.
Phil Robertson is the Deputy Director for Asia with Human Rights Watch. He joins us now from Bangkok in Thailand. Good to have you with us. So 3 years since the military coup, how meaningful is it that the authorities have loosened election registration rules, but at the same time they're extending the state of emergency?
Well, it's not that meaningful in terms of that election because no one is going to participate in an election that is held under the auspices of Myanmar Aung and the military coup government. It's simply not acceptable. It won't be free and fair. And I expect everyone, including Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party, which won the last election, would not take part. The extension of the state of emergency is, of course, something that they're going to continue to do because they don't have any other answers for what to take on next.
On that point, I was going to say the military's control does seem to have slipped in recent months, doesn't it? What has that meant for the human rights situation?
Well, it shows that the military is losing control. It's never really had popular support for its coup. So this is really best understood as the military against the people of Myanmar. It's not necessarily a civil war. It's a war against a military that's highly unpopular. And the important thing to also understand is that I think that this military is increasingly going to use rights-abusing attacks on civilians as part of their modus operandi going forward. This is what we're seeing with the use of artillery, the aerial attacks by their fighter planes and their helicopters, attacking against local people, against civilians. Crimes against humanity are being committed by this military as it on its back foot, increasingly cornered by these ethnic armies.
And is that producing any splits within the military leadership? How unified are they?
Yeah, that's the difficult thing, and that's what everybody's asking about. We have not seen this military split in the past. There's only been one coup attempt in the history of the Myanmar military back in the 1970s. So the reality is they're sticking together. We just don't know how long they're going to be able to hold it together. Increasing, we're seeing they're under pressure on all sides, in the north, in the east, and in the west. And the people within Myanmar themselves, in the cities, are still demonstrating peacefully, demanding restoration of their rights and restoration of democracy.
And all of this, of course, causing a humanitarian situation. 2 million people displaced from their homes. What are they now facing?
Yes. Well, they're facing a very difficult future. It's estimated by the UN that as many as a third of the people of Myanmar, the total number, over 18 million people, need urgent humanitarian assistance. They're talking about, children dying of active, severe malnourishment. You've seen the poverty rate shoot up to over half of the people in the country. This has been an economic, social, and human rights disaster for Myanmar since the military took power 3 years ago. And it needs to end. And the international community has to step up and do something about it. The UN Security Council needs to impose an arms embargo. And we want to see action against aviation fuel, sanctions against the fuel that is being used by the Myanmar's military to bomb its own people.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts on that. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There have been